There's a text come through here. Hey, guys, I noticed that Joel Kane hasn't re-signed with SEN.
Really?
I can see that Fletch has signed. What is the deal with Joel? That is from Mick from Bundaberg.
Yeah.
What's happened?
Mate, Hawkesbury Community Radio came in very, very hard. They came in very, very hard. And, mate, you know what?
What's going on?
We're kicking on for another 3, Brian.
Yes.
We're kicking on for another 3. The Cartel.
The Cartel is back together.
So that means for the next 3 years, Brooks, Tourist, myself, Sammy Samasagi, we are locked in, boys, for 3 years.
Well, there we go. And we may have a female, I understand we might have a female member joining us.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Could
Brooks,
be.
you can reveal. By the way, if you're locked in if you want to be part of the Cartel, folks, let us know if you're locked in for the next 3 years as well. We're all locked and loaded now, so we're going to take you through to the end of 2028, Brian.
Yeah, just when the rights come off. I know the rights will be off in 27. So we don't get our ratchet clause until 28.
Oh, forgot to mention the Asterix, though. We do once a month. What are those meetings we do in that little room over there, Brian? The compliance meetings?
Oh, yes.
So that could sort of do something about that.
Oh, yes.
But otherwise we're expected to be here.
Perth's coming in, PNG's coming in. We've got to lock that S down.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well done, boys.
We're a bit like...
big year.
Hutchie is like the CEO of the Dolphins. We had to get Katoa signed.
Yeah. Terry Reader.
Oh, Terry Reader.
Terry Reader.
Yeah. Just on that kid, I know. Do we have a amnesty about talking about him? Because I feel...
He's gone too far.
No, but it's just every week.
Yeah.
He's just doing...
But he's doing it.
Yeah, I know he's doing it.
Do you know what, boys? Just on him and off us, I don't recall a player in a long time who has tempo. Has tempo. Like he's... Not everything's at one speed.
No.
He'll pull them up so the line comes up, and he's got Nicarima doing the same thing, and he's playing better footy. I think what Katoa's doing, Nicarima has latched onto, and they're both pulling opposition apart.
Well, the back rowers have finally worked out. We were talking about this last night on Matty's show. I feel early in his career, they weren't... because he does slow down... They were overrunning him, and it just wasn't working for him, their attack.
Yeah.
Now they sort of, as a back row, they're just holding their line a little bit, and they wait to see what he does because he'll drop them under, or when he sort of, you know how he sort of stutter steps?
Yeah.
And then the back rowers go whooshka.
Because defence sort of, they're not used to that that sort of halt.
No, correct.
That pause. Power of the pause, they call it.
Well, it's a bit like, and we've spoken about this, Jason Smith. That's what made Jason Smith so great. It's a bit like when you're watching golfers and there's no effort in their swing.
Yeah.
This is what this kid does.
Could they, I mean, this is an outlandish comment, but I'll preface it by saying this. We'll talk about the rugby league. They have flogged Penrith. They've beaten Penrith. They've flogged the Bulldogs, flogged the Storm.
Yeah.
And they just keep scoring. And they have maybe eventually a player who, Joey Johns is saying that this kid could go past all of them, right? So if you knew that down the track he was an immortal, so to speak.
Who, Katoa?
If you knew that. No, we don't know that.
No,
right? I'm not saying
that's
that.
a big call.
No,
but
I'm saying if you knew that,
yes,
could you then sort of reconcile that, they could have won the 2025 comp, or no?
I think not with the injuries this year.
No.
Not with their... Look, and no disrespect to what they've done, but they've played a few sides without their best players. Cowboys are one of them.
Yeah, it's a pincher's comp, though.
Yeah.
It's a pincher's comp.
You feel like it's going to be someone outside?
Oh, well, it could be. It could be. It's a pincher's comp. Like, it is.
They are in rare form.
You've got to win 3 games in a row, basically.
Yeah. They are in rare form, but as we've seen over the years, you can't sustain that. So, remember how they started the year 0-4?
Yep.
Teams go on these little bits of run. Have they peaked too early?
But it takes a very good side, no matter who you're playing, to knock up back-to-back 50s.
Yeah.
When your best, most potent try scorer's out.
Yep.
And the injuries they have...
Regardless of who they're playing.
Yeah, like that takes a big... And the other... let me tell you this, Brian. So, their last 3 games, which includes the Bulldogs, how many tries do you reckon they've scored?
Bulldogs?
No, the Dolphins in the last 3 games.
Well, I know. It's like 160 points.
So 27 tries.
Yeah.
27 tries.
That's pretty handy.
The collective opponents in those 3 games have scored how many tries?
I'm going to say 5.
3.
3. Wow.
27 tries versus 3, including the Bulldogs, in their last 3 games. That is the stat of the crapness. As Brian would say, put a bow through that. That is absolutely done and dusted. Bulldogs, who were absolutely travelling against the Rabbitohs. That would have been a tough game to play, I reckon, with the stoppage before half-time. Bulldogs 24 in the Lightning prevail over the Rabbitohs 18. So the Dogs stay on top of the ladder. They led 18 blot when the Lightning turned up to force a 25-minute stoppage. I felt for the players, Brian. They came back on with 8 minutes to go. Then they had the 10 minutes again.
Yes, come off. What do you reckon they should have done?
Oh, look, it's very hard. I mean, the NRL's doing their best, and there would be procedures, so you'd have to stick to those. But I think
I
thought
you were hoping for 8-minute quarters or some sort of weird sort of gear you were enduring.
I think given the fact you had all that time off, come back on for 8 minutes, maybe 5 minutes for the half time.
Yeah, I think they did actually shorten it.
Did they?
Yeah, because we came on air. 4.5 minutes, Brooksy's saying. They cut it
4.5 minutes for half time?
Yeah. They cut it by 4.5.
So it's usually about 12, is it 10 or 12? Anyway, well done to the Doggies. Rabbitohs scored late to ask a few big questions. Sex on legs, Brian.
Sex on legs. It was all about him. I know Lockie Galvin was okay, but I think sexy was the difference.
Yep.
I do not like it. I'm going to say it again. Do not put, please, Key Raz in the centres.
I know.
Just put him on the wing. Just leave him on the wing.
I agree.
Defensively, they got him twice. Actually, they got him 3 times, but he led in 2 tries. It is such a hard position.
It's so different to win, isn't it?
It is.
People just think straight away, if you're a winger, you can play centre and vice versa. Both positions are so different. It's so bad.
I've also, I'm proposing rugby league teams. Now, hear me out. I've been watching videos of Stephen Crichton defend. He grew up playing basketball as well.
We've spoken about this.
The way he defends.
Peripheral vision.
But he defends like he's a basketballer.
Correct.
So I feel we've gone through the wrestling coaches.
Yeah.
We've gone through, who else came? We had this guy who was a judo expert, came and hit us with sticks in our shins to toughen up our bones. That was Hecko's. He'd whack us with, it was one of Gus's rankings.
Really?
I mean,
there is some evidence in that, though.
In what, whacking your bones?
Yeah, because the bone, I've told you about the DEXA scan.
Yeah, I know, but this guy had it like a piece of, like a broomstick and was whacking us in the elbow. It was the worst afternoon of my life. But I feel there could be, in defensive structures, especially, the way he defends is like a basketball.
I love it.
Because I was watching the playoffs, and I go, hang on, let's get, we need Hammer Heel.
Yep.
Hammer Heel, let's get him in for clubs.
Yeah.
He's a gun for hire.
So he's the now gun for hire.
He's the gun for hire.
The Hammer Heel.
We had Graham Arnold.
Yep.
Who's a good defensive, because he was a 3-point king, wasn't he?
Who was the gun for hire in the jiu-jitsu stuff? It was a brother of someone, wasn't it?
Jimmy Dimmick's brother,
Angelo.
He started it.
Yeah.
There was, who's the gun Australian defence? Is it Dellavedova? Is he a good defender?
I don't know. We need guns for hire. Roger Fabry,
he's a gun for hire.
Roger Fabry, he's a gun for hire.
Yep, we've gone down that path. So I'm saying to you, defensive centres.
Did Edgar Curtis coach you?
Oh,
Tell us about Edgar Curtis.
Oh, it was the worst. You had to do bear crawls.
Oh, the bear crawl.
He had no idea.
Oh, the bear crawl was the worst thing in the world. This guy was an American, and he wouldn't use a mobile phone. So the club gave him a mobile phone. He said, won't be needing that.
Yep.
Everything.
Didn't use a microwave.
Would not have anything inside a
plastic
or foil.
Yep. And wouldn't eat, you couldn't burn your meat because the free radicals will kill you.
I need to know what he's doing these days. And we used to have to hang upside down like a bat for about 5 minutes a day on those moon boots. Did you do that?
No, the gravity boots.
The gravity boots.
No, they're well and truly gone. Anywho, I'm saying for teams out there struggling, get a basketballer in for defence.
And why am I talking about it? Because he did coach at South Sydney there for a while. Keon Kalamatangi, suspected fractured eye socket. So, GOG.
Yeah, that's not great.
So he was in the mix there for the extended squad of the Blues. He will now not travel to Perth for Origin 2. Jaden Sullivan and Jai Gray's got a broken thumb, so they'll likely miss some time as well. Thought Jaden Sullivan was having one of his better defensive displays, so he was doing well there. 1300 01 1170. Bulldogs have the bye. Rabbitohs take on the Melbourne Storm on Saturday, which I suppose if you're going to take on the Storm to host them in Sydney after a Perth game, with Munster being involved, with Stefano being involved, with all those, I know you've got your own players involved, but this is the time you'd want to play them. That's got a bit of upset o'clock about it.
Oh, no way, not with Keon out.
You don't think so?
No upset. Keon does so much good work for the Bunnies, and Who's going to fill his position?
Okay. Dolphins 58 and dropped a chance to make it 62 or 64 with Bostock a chance to pick up his fifth. He was counting tries on the way to his fourth. Third straight win for the Dolphins. You've seen this stat everywhere, 158 points in those 3 matches. I think the better stat is that only 3 tries in those games, including the Bulldogs. Jackie Bostock, 4 tries, 312 metres in the match. Unbelievable. Cody Nikorima maybe in career best form. Isaiya Katoa flying. What about the Nikorima try for Herbie?
Well, I know where I sit because I brought it up last night and I was outvoted 4-1 by Leo Hopewadi, Ruben Garrick, Matthew Johns, and old Flopperelli himself. I said, boys, you understand what... They go, I didn't like it. Heine goes, I didn't like it. Showing disrespect. Yeah. It wasn't showing disrespect. It was showing respect for your teammate who's on a record who may never, ever get this record again.
Had you back Herbie?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it was my last leg. I didn't want to say that on air, but I did. No, but you know what I mean? I've seen this happen. We did it. AJ did it when he scored 5 that day. It also happened with, correct me if I'm right, when the Fox got 6.
And milestone days it can happen too.
Milestone.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we'll get to that very shortly.
All right. This is. I should have brought this up last night. A bit like George, the jerk store call. Is it because the boys were saying, it's disrespectful to the Cowboys doing that? Was it disrespectful when Papali'i kicked his goal?
No,
I
don't buy the disrespectful. You know what was disrespectful? That you yourself let in almost 60 points. And I'm not throwing stones. I've been part of teams that we've conceded 60 points. So you've been disrespectful to your own efforts, not the other way around.
Good.
Thoughts?
I needed you last night on my lounge.
Good.
Just sitting on my lap.
What about the Dolphins, Brian? They were 0-4. And it was, you got to think about this. Christian Wolf, right?
Yeah.
He was 0-4. He was following in Wayne Bennett. Everyone's talking about the effect of following in Wayne Bennett. And now he's turned it around to do this. Yeah. Remarkable. It is completely remarkable. We have got so many candidates for the Coach of the Year. The Cowboys know it started bad. Jason Taumalolo was a late withdrawal. Dolphins host the Knights on Saturday. Cowboys head to Allianz to take on the Roosters. Virtual semi-final there. Roosters 12 defeat the Knights 8. A little bit of controversy. Let's go straight into this, Brian. Let's go straight into this. The controversial try or no try for Siwa Wong.
Try.
Did they get it right or did they get it?
They got it right.
Yep.
The issue is, if it went up no try, I feel the bunker would have said no try. So it went up as a try, inconclusive evidence, as you know, people other than Rooster supporters say, well, he touched it. There was no clear view that he did touch it. And the rules are you can use your forearm or even your torso.
Here is the rule, Brian. Grounding the ball includes placing the ball on the ground with hands or hand, wrist or forearm.
Yes.
B, exerting a downward pressure on the ball in contact with the ground. C, dropping on the ball and covering it with the front part of the body above the waist and below the neck. So you can essentially score with your belly button. Is that right?
Correct.
Yep.
Torso.
Yep.
You can do it. You'd get winded. You're going to be winded.
You get winded,
but
all right.
Anything, if it's a grand final, I've never seen anyone do it. Someone should do it.
Yep.
Do a big swan dive and just dive right on your Georgie
Really
best.
test out the bunker.
Test out the bunker.
I love that. There you go. So our rising star, Struddy's apparel that elevates your game. You can join the Struddy squad today. Visit struddys.com.au. Celesi Fekete with a huge step to score a try. Celesi, forget about it. He was unbelievable, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's a back rower or lock, and they put him up with with no Lindsay Collins. They put him up in the front row. Had a great game and scored a wonderful try.
Yep.
I don't often like to put pressure on two players, or sort of say if these two players didn't play, but in this case, if Teddy doesn't play and Nafahu White don't play, Roosters don't win that.
Brian, Teddy is the most unspoken about modern-day recent hero of the game. He missed out on the Dalian by 1 last year. Mate, he's going to be pressing it again.
He'll get 6. He would have got 6 on the weekend.
Yep.
And I know but I'm not sort of looking for. It's easy to say, Teddy had a great game, but he did. He laid on the 2 tries.
Yep.
And him and Nafahu White, he's just getting better and better.
Yep.
He is a fantastic front row forward, and he's the prototype of what these front rowers are going to end up looking like. You need to have footwork. You need to be have good leg speed, and you need to be like his post-contact meters.
Oh.
I don't know what they were, but they couldn't get him down.
Was it you telling me or someone else? They were talking about opponents of Nafahu White. They said, seriously, no one talks about this guy.
This was Mitch Barnett.
Mitch Barnett.
We had Luke Metcalf on last week, and we were talking in the green room, and he came off the field and goes, the Roosters should sign him for 5 years. He said, I could not get him on the ground.
Yep.
And he's doing it with just brute force. Like, he hasn't got yet. He's got an offload in him, but he's not sort of doing any pre-passing before the line. Like, he's not doing any passing before the line. So he's just doing this on sheer strength and pace. I think he's a wonderful front rower.
Brian, I'm so sad about this. Victor Radley suffers another Category 1 head knock. Another one.
Yeah.
What do you do there?
It's getting serious now, because this one, and as we saw with Jakey Friend and Boyd Cordner, it's these ones that look innocuous. That's the worry.
Yeah.
When you're just getting a little tap, and Victor failed his. And he's got a young family, and you don't want to start talking the R word.
No.
But even Victor would know, and he's changed his game a lot.
Yep.
He's changed because he used to be flying off the line and whacking him. So he's tried to change the way he plays, but that one was a bad one, and it wasn't.
It's so sad. We're
bad.
seeing the sadness, aren't we?
And you could see when he was coming off, the vacant look in his. Do they give him, 8 weeks, 6 weeks off, and get him right? I don't know, because.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm like, you got to feel right. So those listening, whatever your passion or dream as a kid was or is, or what it is you're doing right now, this guy's given so much to this game, and it's just been ripped from him, and it's heartbreaking, and that applies to any vocation, any industry, any dream, that people are following. When you see that happen, it is heartbreaking.
Yeah, and he's played 150 games. I think that was we played that a couple of weeks ago. But the thing is, when he's right, he's a gun. Like, his passing game, obviously his defence, but it's only going to take one of those little knocks, and I seriously start thinking for his future, because he's had so many in the last 2 years.
Very, very sad, and hopefully it plays out. Look, Roosters have been a great record when it comes to managing these scenarios. The Roosters host the Cowboys on Saturday. I mentioned that in the Cowboys mop-up. It is a virtual final in that game. Loser cannot contend anywhere in this competition, is my opinion. Knights head to Brisbane to take on the red-hot Dolphins, those scoring many against those who are not. The vent line, get them in. Get them in, folks, because you've still got your chance to jump on the vent line. DM us on Instagram at Joel Fletch SEN is the way to do that. Maybe you're a Seagulls fan who is desperately wanting to vent. Can you believe this? Titans 28 defeat the Seagulls 8. That was a shocker. So the Titans, who were on a 3-game losing streak, they snapped that. Huge win for Desi Hazard against the Old Firm. Huge win for Kieran Foran against the Old Firm. And Lofty Khan Pereira, well, he keeps doing what he does, and that's scoring tries, 51 tries from 52 games. Elite try scorer, one of the quickest, maybe the quickest in the competition off the mark. And Beau Fermor, he was huge after his demotion from Origin. So you often see that where a player has been left out, and very, very sad. I hate seeing this, Brian, where Hamoli Olakawatu, you think, scores a try to take the Seagulls to 14 to put them back in the game. And he goes to the effort, the hyperextension of the arm. But apparently...
Yeah, we've got a text through here.
Yeah.
This is from Western Sydney Eagle. Some of the best gifts come terribly wrapped. He's only out for 4 to 6 weeks.
How many?
Oh, yeah, even. Sorry, 3 to 5.
He's out for 3 to 5 weeks.
He'll be back. Yeah, he'll be back out. He'll be back in an odd number.
So to the Michaels out there, which happens to be the Manly medical staff, apparently the manner in which they had handled it post-injury was as good as you could do, which limits it to 3 to 5 weeks or 5 to 7 weeks, one of the two. That dislocated shoulder too, by the way. So he is out, which... I mean, it's not really... Well, it is sliding doors. If he makes himself available for the Origin squad, does that change anything? Probably not, because he wouldn't have been 18th man, I suppose. But there you go. Titans head to Combank to take on the Eels and the Seagulls. Probably the last thing they want, actually. They've got the bye, Brian. When you lose, you don't want to lose.
You don't want to
into
lose
a bye.
going on a bye. No, look, it's the DCE thing. We've been saying
reckon?
it. Of course it is. Just come out and just say it. Now Origin's done. He said he was going to make a decision after Origin. They've got us. They're in free fall at the moment.
So what? Like, whether he decides to retire, whether he decides to go to another club, and the spruik has been Roosters.
Yes.
Does that actually change how Manly perform?
Well, I think it is because at the moment he hasn't come out. He says I'm going to wait until. Well, it's damaging their season.
So is there a world in which?
Just come out.
But Manly aren't on hold for his decision, though.
No, I know. I understand that. They've
Yeah.
gone, but I'm saying within himself.
So
Within
is there
himself.
a world in which June 30 is 14 days away, 2 weeks away today? Is there a world in which DCE does not finish the year as a Manly Seagull?
No, he'll
No.
finish this year. He'll finish at Manly.
So it's no excuse for Manly.
No, it's not. And I said this when it all happened. He hasn't been playing great, and I really feel it's on his mind.
Yeah.
Whether or not there's rumours that the Roosters have gone cold on him, I don't know. I don't know whether it's a handshake agreement. I don't know whether it was a verbal. I don't know whether it's a signature. Whatever's going on. But
Okay, let me ask you this, and you're a great Terry reader. Why haven't we heard anything? Like, what's your best guess? Is it who he's talking to is balking at it? Is it he hasn't yet made up his own decision? Why have we not yet heard anything?
I was told by a reliable source within the Roosters organisation that it is done. It's a 2-year deal. But the person who I asked, I said, well, is it signed or is it a handshake deal? And they couldn't tell me.
But if it was, why hasn't it happened?
Daly said he wanted to make a decision after Origin. That's what he said.
He unfortunately now is after Origin.
Yeah.
He's after Origin came a little bit early.
He's just got to come out now, and everyone will be okay with it within 2 weeks. He's going to cop the. If he does say, I'm signing with the Roosters, everyone will go, yeah, we knew that was coming. Let's go on. We're going to finish the year.
Yeah.
Whether or not maybe he has told his teammates, I'm not too sure.
You don't think retirement's firming?
I feel it is, yeah. I feel it is.
So you think a deal may have been done, and then both parties are kind of going, mate, do you just want another month? Look, it's a big investment for us. It's a big investment for you. Do you want to give us an answer in 6 weeks and really think about it?
It could have been, but I've been told that the deal is already done.
Okay, all right. Sharkies defeat the Dragons 18. Well, the southern end of the field really won this game because that southerly caused all sorts of points. Dragons led 18-6 at the break. So basically all bar 6 points were scored from that southern end running to that northern end. Sharks run in 4 unanswered tries in the second half. Isaiya Katoa, the Tongan fisherman, he was great. You know what I think, Brian? This is a bit of a hot take, but Blake Brayley took on the week prior a former up-and-coming dummy half Shark, Sam Healy, who has just got this early reputation, run. And I feel like that kind of got contagious, and Blake Brayley, maybe as a result of that, thought, I've got to start running more. And he looked 100 times better player doing that for his team.
Yep, no, agreed. That first 20 minutes was going to be anything. Thought, here come the Sharks. And then, for whatever reason, they went away from it.
Yep.
Second half, though, they got back into that groove, and the Dragons' defence was so bad. There was that one from that scrum where it was a 3-on-2.
Oh, Isaiya Katoa just pinballed them away.
They were sliding on their line.
Yep.
Like, literally, it was 3-on-2. There was nothing else to do except go forward.
Yep.
They could have 2-outed him first.
Yep.
And, look, I'm not going to blame the kid on the wing, Lawson.
Lawson!
But I am definitely blaming Sully.
Well, mate, Sully is, I think you'll find, has the most try causes, because the poor old fullbacks get attributed for a lot of try causes. So when you look at try cause lists, it's often a fullback. I think sans fullbacks, I think Sully might be the number one. I tipped Cartel for a double. I got a bit lucky in the end because...
Bruce, hit him one. Get him, tourist. You're not getting away anymore. You've signed a 3-year deal.
Locked in.
You've got the big dollars. You've got to cop the criticism. Give me another one.
True.
Just give me another one. There you go.
But the reason I did was because of the fragile left-hand side of the Dragons, a new winger and a centre who was coming up with some try causes. But as I said, very, very lucky. That kick came through. Great take from Katoa.
Yeah.
And off he went.
Katoa's the Mickey.
He's going good. He's going really, really good. A lot of the chat around, Flano backs his son at halfback. We spoke about this last week. And Jed Stewart, we think, is going to debut tomorrow in Teamless Tuesday. It is extremely hard if your name's not Nathan and Ivan Cleary or Marty Lang and John Lang, it's extremely hard, good or bad, to have your son in your 30. Don't you think?
Yeah, it is, and especially in a position that is scrutinised so much.
So hard.
Like if you're a forward, you can get away with a little bit.
Yep. I tend to agree with Flano. I actually do think he's been pretty good, Kyle. But you can't get away from how a parent thinks and a dad thinks. I know it's It's easy for Ivan because his son's so bloody good.
What's happened? I'm not fully across this.
Well, Flano's had to come out and basically refute the claims that the nepotism, I suppose. And he's basically come out and said that, he's basically been amongst our best players.
Yeah.
But where it makes it hard for all those coaches, like Brad Arthur in the past with his son Jake, who he debuts. We've actually seen a lot of it, Jed Stewart and Ricky Stewart now. And to be fair to Ricky, he's really made him earn it. Jed, I don't know a lot about Jed, so I'm assuming that he's deserved of his spot.
But Kyle is the best option at the moment for the Dragons. Brooksy, you're a fan.
I'll tell you what, I'm actually surprised this chat is actually happening now. I thought it would happen earlier, and that just says how I think good Kyle's played in the first half of the year. There's a year transition because Hunt left and Atkinson signed for 2026. So there was always going to be an interesting year with the depth. When you looked at the depth chart, the halves, having Lockie Ilias, Kyle Flanagan, Jonah Glover, and Lycan.
Yep.
Like you go, whoa, that's probably, in terms of all due respect, probably one of the lower halves groups in the NRL. But they've actually done pretty good. They popped their head in the top 8 around the halfway mark. But the last 2 games has obviously opened up a lot of criticism. Having a big lead, losing it, of the second biggest loss in club history in back-to-back weeks. Not necessarily in that order.
Yeah, but it's the Australian way, right? Like we carry on like we're Joe Knockabouts and we're the most rock solid, but we are very
Lemonade
good.
It was when the Hunt thing went so late into the play, and to let him go, and have no swap deal, nothing like that. This was going to happen, and I think later in halfway through the year, everyone criticising now shows that how good he's actually been holding down the fort, and players like Holmes and Gutho being able to do their thing. Been pretty good signings. The young guys coming through, Egan and Couchman this year, Hamish Stewart, has been a great storyline for the young Dragons, and the juniors coming through, with Loco as well debuting, Nathan Lawson given a debut, Suganis given a debut. There is some good stories there for the Dragons, but I feel like it's that first half of the year, it's been great, but it's going to be a tough ride heading into the back end of the season.
Your draw's not favourable?
No, it's not.
Pretty tough.
But I personally would not want to be coached by my dad, and I personally wouldn't
not coach.
want to coach my son. I just.
But
just
then
go
maybe
and earn your own,
maybe
world.
some families think they can get the best out of each other. That's the other thing.
But I reckon there is no situation, and this includes Nathan and Ivan, because there's no situation where that player is treated absolutely like anyone under 30. They're either more favourable or maybe the other way, where Flano claims to be. Well, here we go. Flano said this to Code Sports. To say Kyle is under pressure is ridiculous. I think people are looking in the wrong direction. He's been among our best players all year. It's not me. Ask the other players and coaches. I'm probably harder on Kyle than any other player.
Yeah.
See, that goes that way as well.
His effort is definitely there.
100%.
His effort is there. He's trying all the time. It's just defensive lapses. But geez. Just that game they had. To be up 18-6 at half time and let that go.
1300 01 1170. Josh from Logan up there in Queensland wants to have his chat. G'day, Josh.
Hey, how you going? Thanks for letting us call through. Joel and Fletch. I got a question for Fletcher.
Yes.
I've been a mad Roosters supporter since Fittler left the Panthers, since I think it was 94, I think. But I wanted to get your thoughts around what's your read on the Roosters this year, because I had, at the start of the year, I thought they'd be bottom 2, 3. But then as the season progressed, they've almost beat everyone in the top 8. If you think about it, they lost 8 points against Warriors over in New Zealand, and they had that game. They were leading to the last 20 minutes. They beat Dolphins. They lost 4 points against Bulldogs. They beat Broncos. They beat Panthers. But then, I listened to the game on the weekend on the radio. It sounded like the defence and a really good try from Wong saved the day for us. But what's your thoughts on how far the Roosters can go? And if they were to make at least the preliminaries, what would they need?
I think will sneak into the 8, but they've got to get their completion rate. The errors they make. They've been doing the same thing for the last 3 years.
Hey, Josh, Fletch, I'll run you through the run home, okay? So they have got some big scalps, and they had a tough start.
They need to win 7 of their last.
Let's play the win-loss game.
All right, here we go. Win 7.
Okay, in fact, Josh, we'll play the win-loss game with you, right?
Yes.
Let's go, both of you. Righto, gentlemen. Roosters host the Cowboys. What have we got?
Tick. Win.
Win.
Okay, you got the bye. Roosters host the West Tigers.
Yes, win.
Win.
Okay, win-loss game. Jubilee, you travel to take on the Dragons at Cogra.
Win.
Yeah, is this might be around Origin time?
Oh, we're just guessing here.
No, it's got to be.
I don't know, Brian.
Well, what game is it? What date?
It's round 19,
What
12th
date?
of July.
No, what's the week before then?
I think we win either way.
Okay, Josh
no,
is
no,
doubling
Take
down.
out Bell Holmes.
I'm saying no, loss.
Bell
Okay.
Holmes, Sewer.
Can you find out for me, please, Origin 3? We should have those dates. Sharks hosting the Roosters. This is a Friday night, 6 p.m. game. We'll have to call an SEN win-loss game.
Down there at Chalk Park, I'm saying loss.
I thought we beat them at Sharks.
No, that was
we
Gosford.
hosted them?
That was Gosford.
Josh, what's your final say?
Okay. Ooh, probably a loss. We've
Okay,
not
we'll
really
give it a
good on
loss.
back-to-back.
You both weren't certain there. Okay, we'll give you a loss. Then you go next week against the Melbourne Storm at home, round 21.
Loss.
2 losses. Then you've got Manly at 4 points.
Win. They're basket case.
Win.
Okay, win. You then have the Dolphins up there.
Ooh. Up there.
I'll go Dolphins.
Yeah.
Dolphins.
You're on.
We beat them this year though, but that was at home,
True that.
and Dolphins weren't in form.
And Josh, did you know dolphins, along with humans, are the only mammals that have sex for pleasure? Did you know that, Josh? Just thought I'd throw that in.
No.
You're a little dirtbag, Josh. Aren't you?
Boys,
you used to love Flipper, I bet you.
Boys, I'll take you to round 24.
Get the tea tree oil out and just go to town. Sorry.
You take on the doggies, round 24.
Where at?
Allianz.
Win. Win.
Oh, okay. All right. Parramatta at Combank Stadium.
Win.
Ooh.
How will Mitchell Moses be back by then?
Yeah, he probably will.
Probably will.
I'm saying loss.
The penultimate boys, the Melbourne Storm down there.
See you later.
I lost again. See you later.
And then
It's coming down to this game.
And then
It's coming
you've
down.
already got 6 wins in the bank, according to you two.
Yeah.
Then you're hosting the Bunnies.
For and against is a big thing though.
Yeah.
Hang on, Josh, you little flipper lover. I'm 5. Josh is 6. It's coming down to the last game. Bunnies will be out of contention.
Yep.
And they'll just.
Well, there's 12. I think you're 5. Well, okay, you're 5. Okay. So then what happens then, Brian? Roosters hosting the Bunnies
It's coming down to that
make
game.
the finals.
Yes, it'll come down to this game.
Right.
It almost did last year too.
Josh, thoughts? What happens there?
If it's last round against Rabbitohs, yeah, we beat them.
Yeah.
Is it at Allianz or?
Is that our home game or?
Yeah.
Yours might be shared.
Yeah, my man, Chris Means, he's weak as butter.
Hey, what was the thing, by the way? This is a job for Sammy, social media Sammy.
Yeah, Margarine.
What did I get? I got lambasted at the start of the year.
Chris Margarine, sorry.
What did I get lambasted at the start of the year for?
Because Roosters won't make the 8.
And I got hammered for it. They're in the
Yeah.
8. They're in the 8. Come on.
Hang on. So what, is that a bruise?
Yeah, it's a
okay,
bruise.
hit him.
It's a bruise.
Far out.
I
You
got
signed
hammered.
3 years. Doesn't give you carte blanche.
Okay. Josh, well done, mate.
Good on you,
thanks
Josh.
for playing the win-loss game.
Thanks
and
for chat.
it looks as though the
Josh,
Roosters
who was your favourite Roosters player?
Ooh, actually Andrew Walker.
Oh, yes. Thought you were going to go
I tell you what,
Freddie.
Josh.
Anki was a
He
great.
had the Oscar music ready, and
I
then you said
know.
Andrew Walker. He went, no.
Anki was, he was my favourite too.
No, I think he was the most underrated cross-code player ever, or like in my generation. I've seen. Like, I know there was a lot of hype around, the other one, Sailor, Takiri,
Yeah.
Rogers, but I think the first 2 years that he went over to Union, the first time, he won 2 premierships with the Brumbies.
Josh, we can't say the B word on air. We cannot say the Brumbies on air.
If they made the grand final, it might have been a different way, Brian, but they missed the grand final.
Is Laurie Fisher still down there?
I think so.
It's Laurie Fisher.
Yes.
Georgie Gregan still got the cafe.
Well done, Broncos. Adam Reynolds set the state the Broncos. The halfback will give up almost $1 million by knocking back a lucrative offer from the West Tigers and staying loyal to the Broncos. Via the Courier Mail, the great Steve Chimes-Gillis says this: Adam wants to finish his career at Brisbane. His family is settled there, so that's what we are working towards. West Tigers Chiefs have been made aware of Brisbane's position, with Reynolds' camp advised the Tigers on Saturday night of his decision. I'm staying at Red Hill. Reynolds will forgo, in staying at Red Hill, Reynolds will forgo near 7 figures to finish his career at the Broncos. Let me share this with you, Brian.
Just is it a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal with the Broncos?
Oh, I think they're talking about a 1-year deal. One-year deal, but obviously as part of that, because I tell you what, I'd be very reluctant. He came out in the public record, Adam Reynolds, saying that if he was to sign with the Sydney team, along the lines of pretty much he'd leave the family who are quite settled there.
Yep.
I'd be reluctant to pay big dollars for a player who has to leave his family. That has to be, it can't be an ideal circumstance.
No, it wouldn't be healthy.
It wouldn't be healthy, right?
No.
So for you then to play or pay top dollar for a player not to have the ideal environment for him, I don't agree with that. But in saying that, looks as though he's going to stay at the Broncos. Now, Brian, what about this? Right, this guy, what a career. He recently, joins the 300 club, of course, and all these records he's breaking point scoring wise. He's the number one in the comp for 40-20s. Mm. He's the number one in the comp for repeat sets. Mm. And this one here, so long kicks to open space. So long kicks that have not been caught on the full by a winger or a fullback, for example.
Kick to the Seagulls.
Kick to the Seagulls. Mm. Number 2 in the competition is Daly Cherry Evans with 18. And then there's likes of Braden Trindle. And there's a heap sort of clustered around 18, 17, 16. Nathan Cleary, all those sorts of people. How many's Adam Reynolds got?
Of kicking to open space.
Finding open space with long kicks.
And what, didn't you say 18?
Well, no, that's what Daly Cherry Evans.
Oh,
and
right.
then he's second. Daly Cherry.
Okay.
So he's number 1 in that as well.
Yep.
So he's number 1 for repeat sets. He's number 1 for 40-20s. And he's number 1 for long kicks to open space.
Open space.
So therefore, clearly
Find
has the best
Seagulls.
kicking game in the comp.
Yes.
Clearly.
Yep.
If number 2's on 18 times they've found clear space, how many times has he found it?
Well, the thing is, a lot of teams now aren't kicking to the Seagulls.
Right.
They kick high into the corners, to the fullback, hopefully catches at the time he's gone.
Yep.
But I know what you're going to say. So in the old days, yes, it was all about doing that, which I prefer.
I prefer,
as if you're doing a kick chase,
Yep.
I prefer that because there's a chance there's an error.
Oh, it
There's a chance he
buys
can-
a lot of time
yeah.
with that ball bouncing around.
If you're saying 18, 27.
32.
Ooh, almost double.
Almost double the second best in the entirety of the NRL. That is big, mate. Not only to do that, to have the most 40-20s in the comp and to have the most repeat sets at his age, that is huge.
Yep.
Huge. Absolutely huge.
What do you reckon, if he's given away $1 million, what do you think they offered him? It'll be a 2-year deal, the Tigers. Do you reckon it was 500 and 500, 600 and 600?
Yeah, maybe 600 and 600 or 700 and 700, maybe. So that'd make it, say, maybe more.
No, I think it'll be around the 700. Then it wouldn't be. You would think the Tigers aren't going to pay.
But mate, game manager, how's he not?
All right, okay. Let's do this conundrum. Do you want Adam Reynolds for 2 years at 700, or do you want Toby Sexton for 3 years at 600?
Oh,
Adam Reynolds. So if you're a Tigers fan, text through.
If you're a Bulldogs fan, if you could finish the year with Toby Sexton or with Adam Reynolds, who would you finish the year with?
Well, that's not going to happen.
No, but who would you? To say, who's a better player?
I know, but it's not going to happen. Let's do mine. Mine's more realistic.
Okay, all right. So if you're a Tigers fan,
do you want Adam Reynolds for 2 years
Yep.
in his current age
Yep.
for 700, so it's going to cost you 1.4? Or do you want the Sex on legs for 3 years times 600, that's going to cost you 1.8? Thoughts and the lines are open now.
do you want to sway or you want to hold back to what you would do
I would go Sex on legs.
for 3 years at
3
1.8?
years,
Okay.
$600,000 a year.
Okay, all right.
I reckon that is good shopping.
Yep. So would he sign for that 600, Sexton?
There was talk he was going to re-sign for 500, so
Okay,
I would say yes.
Okay, there you go.
Can we get him on the line? Can we get him on the line tomorrow, Brooksy?
They got the bye.
Yeah, you can't get him in the bye. What? So players can't do media the week of their bye? That's incorrect because we had Lehigh last night. Oh, it was the week before. So it kicks over on Monday. Okay.
Okay, Brian, other
all about-
playmakers off contract for 2026.
I also like to Durkin. Yeah. Okay, I see.
This is a good one for you, Sammy. You should get him to our man Brian to power rank his playmakers off contract for 2026. Luke Metcalf, Chanel Harris-Tafita. So Luke Metcalf's off contract for 2026 or at the end of 2026? At the end of 2026.
Negotiate.
Luke Metcalf, Chanel Harris-Tavita, Tyron Wishart, Jerome Hughes, Cody Nikorima, Jackson Purdue, Sandon Smith, Jack Cogger and Toby Sexton. Others, Jonah Pezzett, he signed to 2029. He's down there at the Melbourne Storm. Huge spruik on him.
Yep.
He played in one of those first Origin games for the 19s that were on free-to-air television. But he can't get out of the deal if he can get out of the deal if Jerome Hughes re-signs, which that'd have to be likely, wouldn't it? Unless he became a Perth Bear.
Yeah. Oh, or going back to the Titans. He might go back to the Titans.
Yes.
Might throw the money at him.
Yep.
He's from up that way.
So there you go. That's where that shapes up. Who could be the top 3 targets for Shane Richardson? And, the New South Welshman who may come back to New South Wales, Metcalf, Cogger, Smith and Stewart, Sandon Smith, if DCE is going to the Roosters. Tyron Wishart, if he gets, I suppose, impatient of staying behind Hughes. And, of course, Metcalf and Chanel Harris-Tafita. Can the Wars afford both at top money is the question, as they'll be asking for more money.
Mitchell Woods, what's the spruik on him? I know you've got a big spruik.
Played his
opinion of him?
first reserve grade game the same day that Lockie Galvin was playing his first grade game on that Monday, and just looked every bit like a first grader.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, he looks like a first grader, absolute first grader, and that's why they'd be seeing this kid coming through.
Yeah, and they're saying he might be ready next year.
Yeah.
So you could effectively have. It could be the Mitchell Woods and Lockie Galvin for the next. That could be 10 years.
Yep.
That could be a partnership for the next 10 years for the Bulldogs.
Correct.
You feel that's the way Gus is thinking?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
What
where does Matty Burton fit into all that?
Whatever happened to Carl? A lot. Is he gone? Sorry, mate. He got released.
Well, has he retired? Is he retired? No.
Olawapu. How do we pronounce it? Olawapu.
Carl Olawapu.
Because he had the neck injury, but they gave him the doctors. He got a medical clearance. Yeah. I thought when that game he played in, I know it was when he made his debut. He's playing against the Dragons.
Yep.
Was it a Dragons game? Physically, he was good. Like defensively, he was.
They moved into lock there for a period, didn't they?
Yeah.
So anyway, the Cartel at Canterbury is sweet for the time being. Broncos playmaking Cartel contract situation. Corey Pakes, Blake Moser, they're off after this year. Ben Hunt, Billy Walters, Kobe Black until the end of 2026. Ezra Mam and Reece Walsh locked in until 2029. So what's going to happen with Corey Pakes and Blake Moser, Brian?
Don't know, but the Moser, that's everyone loves the Moser.
Yeah.
They can't have them all there.
No, they can't. Broncos off contract in 2026 via NRL.com. Katoni Staggs, Selwyn Cobbo, Corey Jensen, Kobe Hetherington. But let's talk Sky Blue. Let's talk Maroon.
On the run home with Joel and Fletch, it's Origin Watch, thanks to the Sporting Globe, your Origin destination with all the games live and loud. Visit sportingglobe.com.au.
Yeah, depth being challenged a little bit at the Sky Blue. Keon Kolomatangi, fractured eye socket, so he won't now travel to Perth to be on that extended bench. Hamoli Olakawatu, dislocated shoulder, so he's going to miss the rest of the series. He wasn't participating here anyway. Wasn't he due for his... to be a parent, wasn't he? To be a father.
Yes, second time round.
So, he's got to go through all of that at the time of his youngster arriving, we think. He pulled out a game 2. No surgery required, so it's been cleanly manipulated his shoulder back into place. So well done to the Manly Medicos. Seagulls have got 2 buys in the coming weeks, which will help because he could miss as little as 4 games, including clashes against the Tigers, Rabbitohs, Storm and the Bulldogs. With those 2 buys, hopefully after the Bulldogs clash, he could be back. So what does that mean? That means that Lindsay Smith now becomes Lindsay Smith becomes the 18th man. So he's essentially ready to debut in Origin should something happen. Jacob Preston is the man who comes in
I would have
19th man,
19th man.
19th man. 19th man for Lindsay Smith.
Birdo's still there.
That's right. Birdo stays at 18th man. Lindsay Smith is 19th man, and Jacob Preston, Matt Burton's stablemate there, he'll fly to Perth to be the 20th man. So
just on that, I don't know which commentator mentioned this, but I thought it was a cracking idea. With all the it might have been Chamis. He's been on fire lately.
yeah, full package.
I like the idea. Now, I don't know whether, apologies if it's not him, but if it is Chamis, I thought it was a great idea. He was saying the 18th man invariably doesn't really get on the field.
Yep.
But to stop all this, why don't we pick someone out of the buys and I thought that's a very smart.
Yeah, I thought the same, Brian, but it's not. It's not really fair, is it? Like, you know what I think? Like, seriously.
But when was the last time an 18th man was activated?
But why?
Like a pair of almonds.
Like why? Here's my A grade. Why do we have a stupid 18th man? Keep your 8 interchange. Keep your 8 interchange and just involve the 18th man. They're warming up. They're doing everything there. Just let them play. Like, have Matt Burton on the bench. If one of the halves go on, it's better for everyone watching the game that Matt Burton goes on. So why do we have this ridiculous 18th man? If we feel we may need the 18th man, they're getting paid the same money for playing anyway.
Yep.
Let him just get dressed, be on the bench, have 5 on the bench, and have your 8 interchange. Why do we have this stupid 18th man's got to be activated and bring him on? It is so stupid.
Great rant. Keep going.
Well, players are missing games for it. And just Matt Burton, mate, sit on the bench. If you get on, good luck to you, champ. But like, it's so silly. It is so silly.
Could we do what they used to do in the cricket? Remember, if you're going over to Perth, they'd get some kid who was playing local park cricket to come on as a substitute fielder?
Yeah, that's right.
What about just someone from the Perth Bears?
Yeah, just
not the North Sydney Bears, the other mob. The Bears Perth. Oh, yeah. With those chaps on, with their bloaters just hanging out. I tell you what, the crowds come back for that.
I might hope they will.
I'd love a little Bear Perth.
For one for each side.
One for each.
That's great. Greg, oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Here we go.
Gary from Newtown. Let's go. Hello, Gary.
Hello, Joel and Brian. Just quickly, I was just watching the bloke at the bar, and they're talking about the Titans. Oh, they've got the players in the right positions now. They're joking, aren't they? It's between the years. You tell me the last time the Titans have stayed in the arm wrestle for 80 minutes. Name one game in 5 years. Are you kidding me? They're big on numbers, these blokes.
Yeah, thin on pastry, though.
What do you learn from only rattling off what someone else is telling you? I don't see the learn. You feel the game, you can see what's happening with players. I don't understand the stat business. Yeah. But anyway, they're getting a living from it. Good luck to them. I just want to move on to the halfback.
Gary, before
take
you
a breath.
Gary, no, take a breath. Gary, has your pitch of your voice gotten higher? Are you wearing really tight stubbies? What's going on? Your voice seems really high. Today.
No, what I have got, I've got 4 dressing gowns on, 4 pairs of socks. It's freezing in my joint.
Put the heater on. Put the kerosene heater on.
The SEN audience have heard too much from this man not to have done this, okay?
Getting to know all
well, I know one thing.
It can't be rugby league.
He doesn't like putting on the kerosene heater.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing 4 dressing gowns?
I just don't think sitting over a heater is good for you. That's my way of thinking.
It's great for you.
So, but I just want to. That's what I believe. My experience over the years. That's what I believe. Can I just say this about the Canterbury halfback?
No, you're banned from rugby league.
You can't.
You're banned from rugby league.
I want to know how many pairs of socks are you wearing, and you wear leg warmers, and have you got gloves on with the tips of the fingers cut off?
No, I haven't got gloves on. My hands are the coldest hands in the world. Even the birds are saying, "You're kidding, aren't you? Get those hands."
Gary, is there a +1 for Gary?
Yeah, there is. He's been on a date with one.
Is there a +1, Gary?
Yes.
Yeah, look, anything that keeps me warm, I'll accept. What I want to say is...
What about an electric blanket? What about an electric blanket? Are you thinking about an electric blanket?
The electric blankets, what you do, you warm up the bed before you jump in the bed. You switch it off when you jump in. That's
correct.
The key there.
I know, but are you worried with the heater spending money on gas? Is this what it is? Is it a tight
Brian,
ass?
I'll answer that like this. If I was worried about money, I wouldn't be gambling. So stop that nonsense.
Okay. What is it about a heater,
Right,
about
but-
warming your house up with an apparatus?
I don't think it's good for your health. I don't think it's good for your health. That's the reason why I haven't got it on. It's
Hang
got no other reason.
Electric or gas? What are you worried about? Are you worried about gas or electricity?
Brian's working overtime. I don't think
Now you know
the
how we feel.
human body's good for leaning over a heater for hours to keep warm. I don't think it's good for you.
Gary,
You don't have
my
to. You don't have to.
decade.
You don't have to lean over the top of it. You close all the doors.
No,
and you just
that's true. I'll accept that point. You've got a point
Gary,
there.
can you tip us into a show? What's a good show or movie that we must watch, according to Gary from Newtown?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I can't help you on that. I'll cop you. What I do, I'll cop other people's tips. I'm not big on that because I'm not really a movie person. I've watched over the years, no one beats Stinger for mine.
Sting.
But anyway,
The Sting.
can I just speak about the referee?
No.
Can
No,
I?
you cannot talk about them. You cannot talk about the referee.
What about
I want to know, do you like hot water bottles?
Hot water bottles. I haven't had one of those for decades. Are they still around?
Yeah.
Gary, what about your favourite song or band or album? Give us something there.
I'll ask you this question: what would the world look like without music?
Well, just tell us.
If music was done from Earth, I'd be following music. I would not be here.
If an alien come down, you had to give him one song, Gary, what would it be?
What's hang your hat on?
Joe Cocker.
bloke?
Joe Cocker.
Okay,
You
right,
have
Gary.
You know
No,
what
no,
I
no.
love,
Hang on.
Joe?
No. What about the alien comes down, right? The alien comes down, and the alien says, "You've got some spaghetti bowl there, but I see celery in there." What would you say? Did you say, "Yes, alien, I put celery in my spag bowl," or I also put nutmeg in? What are you doing? What are you telling the alien? Nutmeg? Does nutmeg go in? Does celery go in?
I've got to go nutmeg. Celery, I don't fancy that.
Okay,
Yeah,
Gary, just before we go, give us your final say on State of Origin number 2. Final say. What do you think?
I say this.
Tourists, don't do that. Don't. No, he gets a chance. He gets a chance.
Yeah.
Right, like this is how I read it. If Queensland can hold the opposition.
I remember when I lost my mind. Yeah.
No, that's not good. No. Tourists, that's not fair.
Listen, they've got to get the opposition.
Okay,
They've
hang
got to
on.
hold it. Wait, you asked the question, you won't let me speak. What's the caper?
I'm trying to save you here because the tourist keeps doing stuff.
Yeah.
Now, Gary, the floor is yours.
Thank you. What you got to do?
I'm an old boy of the school, and my son is also an old boy. And the intent was always that I'd have a grandson, but I won't bring him to a co-ed school.
Let's go to our friends, our doyens of Queensland, Sattler and Rogers. G'day, men.
Well, you're the Cartel.
boys.
We're the Sports Day Syndicate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah, we're happy with that.
The Sports Day
Cartel.
Syndicate.
Did you name yourself that?
Yeah, of
Well,
course they
Bruce, no.
Yeah.
The thing is, all these terms that are coming into rugby league,
Yeah.
eyes up footy,
Middle third.
um,
Process. Got to follow the process.
yeah.
Next
Even the
man up.
No.
Even like the spine.
Well,
the
that's-
spine's a
yeah.
new one too, isn't it?
I
Like
was
a
getting
couple
to
of-
that. We don't want the
We call it
spine.
the diamond.
Well, we call it the cartel.
Yeah, we've replaced
Oh,
it.
you're right. Oh,
We've
right.
replaced the spine with the cartel.
Because,
Okay.
boys, why can only the Australian Test cricket team have the attacking cartel? Why have rugby league never been allowed to use the term cartel?
Well, it hasn't got great insinuations.
I
to
didn't.
it, has
Yeah,
it?
it doesn't.
The
And
cartel.
I got to be honest. I've never even heard an
you?
Australian cricket terminology use
Yeah,
the
yeah,
cartel.
the cartel, yeah.
It's
I've
the
never
fast
heard it.
bowling
Yeah.
cartel.
Yeah.
I mean,
Never heard
they're
it.
not. They're okay. The cartel, the bowling cartel. What
Yeah.
about the batters? What about the
Exactly.
Fairy, what about the fairy floss batters?
Well,
Yeah.
they don't deserve anything at the moment.
They don't, do they?
Batters. No.
You wouldn't feed them, would you?
No.
No.
Who are you feeding out of the top six?
Well,
Smitty's getting fed.
Webster.
Oh
Webster.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the slug's a bit further down. Let's go top 5.
It feels like the Australian cricket team, Brian, you're in one or two groups. You're either in the cartel or in the can't bat. One of the two, isn't
Yes.
it? Like
Yeah.
it's
Well, the bowlers kept us in.
of course they did.
I'm feeding Constas as he's not even there.
Yeah, I want to see. It's time for a changing of the guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Changing of the guard.
All
We've got depth there now. We've given them a run the last year, and it's time to bring in some new blood.
Speaking of which, there's new blood gone into the Queensland team. I'm not convinced that's their starting team.
I don't think anybody is, Fletch.
No.
I mean,
I think it will be.
Gus has come out.
I think the only change will be Kurt Mann will start at hooker, and that's it.
So then it's not the starting 13. Then.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I don't get the Carrigan's a test front rower.
You know what I think, Fletch? Because the middle was where we got hurt last game.
Yeah.
I was saying to Sats earlier, I think maybe it's like, all right, let's send these guys out. Just if they can just hang on for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, then we bring in Collins, we bring in Carrigan, and we get a real boost. Just lift up the intensity.
Yeah, there's an old saying that I come up with.
What's
that?
Yes.
You can't win it in the first 20 minutes, but you can definitely lose it in the first 20
Yes,
minutes.
you can.
That's my saying.
Yeah.
That is my saying. If anyone and the full package, if you try and steal that when you're on Triple M, are you on Triple M? No, he's on ABC. I like ABC. I like Luke Lewis.
Yeah.
I really like him.
He's good, Louis.
He's good.
He's
I like Andrew Moore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who I don't like. I don't like the Triple M. I don't like Maroon, and I don't like that fat heap Westie's got on him with him.
Hey, now, there's a text here about
What
next
about your
man
mate
up.
Woodsy?
What's Woodsy done?
What
Oh,
about
yeah.
Gordy?
Mate,
What about Gordy teed off on the weekend?
Gordy going a bit personal.
Did they realise they work for the same company?
Yeah, I know.
You don't believe
bit of
that.
banter.
I think it's all set up.
He's getting some work, Woodsy, at the moment.
Pardon?
He's getting a lot of work, Woodsy.
Yeah.
Saying all the right things. I guess
I don't think he actually believes what he's saying, but it's good content.
he had a crack.
How was the weekend, boys? What did you get up to? Any gratings of the belt variety?
No, I broke my nose, but
Oh,
What
you
happened?
should see it.
Good
It's
job,
bent,
Joe.
it's swollen.
just today.
Back of the head of one of his counterparts in his jiu-jitsu class.
Yeah, what happened?
I just had my head over top of head, and he did the Ushka, the reverse Liverpool kiss. And
Did he the reverse one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Reverse one.
worse.
Back of the head.
And your eyes
Ugly.
water? Your eyes are
quickly.
watering?
Yeah, I know. Yep.
Painful.
But what a weekend. I worked Saturday.
Mate, I played. I'm not going to. I played in.
I went to local footy. I went to the Davies Park, which was the South Magpies. Badge and Mal's old team, up against the Winner Seagulls, which was the old grudge match in years gone by. And so I went to Davies Park and watched that.
Nice.
So South Magpies are coached by Carmichael Hunt, Justin Hodges, Lottie Takiri.
Oh, that's a good gang. I'd
Yep.
like to be on that Mad Monday. What about this one here? Kanara
Well
Cowboy.
organised.
Sats, make sure you mention how many listeners couldn't figure out what Sugar was commentating.
What was that?
What
We
does
got a few
that mean?
texts about that. What was that, boys? I missed that one.
Oh, was that our name the commentator last week?
Oh, yes.
What happened?
Oh, have we got that? Did we cut that up?
No, we had, so we're doing
Oh, we didn't.
on Wednesday nights. We've been doing name the commentator from all these different sports and just playing
Different
a line.
eras.
So this week it was Graham Hughes, it was David Morrow, there was someone else,
Warren Smith.
Warren Smith,
And then
yeah,
you.
Take Me Now. I've seen it all. And then Joel calling the grand final last year. We had people ring up, and what they
Mate, there must have been about 6 people that just couldn't get you, didn't know you.
Oh, his voice.
Yeah, your
one,
voice.
one person said Frank Hyde.
I'll take that. Rex Mossop.
I'd take
I'll
that.
take all that.
Moose. Yeah,
I'll take. We did the same game actually, and I think there was 7 or 8 who couldn't guess this one, Brian.
He gets a lifetime of free colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Colonoscopies.
Yeah, we should have cut that up. It was quite funny.
Sorry, Sats.
Yeah.
Could you just ice your nose for a second? Rat, you were about to say something. You went somewhere, and I'm
Yeah, I
hoping
was
it's
at-
got something to do with bruising because I'm pumped.
Yeah. Is it that, mate? It could. I'm
Here
not
we
going to
go.
bruise.
Have you
But
got-
what?
have you got a
It was a golf day I went to
drum
on
roll?
Friday.
drum roll?
It was a very popular Australian surfing figures golf day.
Oh, yes.
But one thing that blows me away, Fletch, is how I haven't seen you there.
Okay, so we did. Now, I did get a DM from Mick, Bruce.
Boom, set him up.
He
beautifully.
said,
That's a put it on a platter, self-Bruce.
would you
Yeah.
be able, and I was unfortunately engaged with another
Right.
appointment, but I'm definitely, next year, I'm blocking this out because I heard it was just awesome.
Mate, it's probably one of the days of the year, if not the day of the year on a golf course. Two golf courses full of like great people supporting the Northern Rivers region, where they do a lot of work. I mean that whole Lismore region and through the floods and stuff, there are still homes that are condemned. But they're just trying to help that community out. So I think they raised over $600,000 again. It's a Bruce-a-thon when you're there. Like there is that many people there, but it's like a reunion. You catch up with people you haven't seen for ages. But it's
was there a person there that you'd never met that is of the Bruce variety that you met for the first
Big
time?
Bruce.
Yeah, Glenn Robbins.
Oh,
really?
yes.
From Sale of the Century?
Yeah,
no, the comedian.
That's Russell Coit.
Yeah, Russell Coit. Yeah,
who's Glenn? Who's he thinking of? Glenn Ridge.
Glenn Ridge.
That's Bobby Kearns' nickname, isn't it? You used to call him Glenn Ridge because he asked too many questions.
Oh, yes. He's good value.
That's a great nickname.
Was he the A-lister? Was there anyone?
No, I don't know. I mean, there's 36 groups per course. So what's that? 72. So there's 72 celebs that are there. So there are some people of the B and C grade variety. Very much on the D. I'm D.
No, I want A.
I'm past all that.
I want A grade. I want A. Who's the A's?
A. I'll tell you who's one of the best, and he's there every year. Shannon Knoll.
Yes. What about me?
Yeah. And he gets up at the end of the day to wrap things up, and he sings it, and the whole crowd gets behind it, and they sing it.
What about me?
Yeah, what about me?
Really?
Yeah, it's good fun.
What about the black car?
Yeah, big black shiny car.
Big black shiny car.
Yeah, great fella. But, mate, it's a who's who of Australian, TV, sport,
So
media.
are you there purely as an ex-rugby league player or more reality TV?
I'm not sure.
Two hats.
I don't know. I'm just happy that I'm there.
Is that two cashies for you? Got reality?
No cashies. It's just I go down there and I donate my time. To a great cause.
Any Bruces who are like cheeky good golfers, Rat, that were there?
Not really. Not that I could see, mate. Because I was I played with the guys that are the developers of the Kings Kira Beach Hotel. So I was in their team. So each group of four. I think it's pretty expensive
you were with
to
the
play.
GOAT, weren't you?
Nick Kossep was in my group.
The
GOAT.
One of the best.
Humes.
One of the best.
One of the great fella.
How's he going?
No, he's going great. He's not the greatest golfer.
No,
but he has a great time.
He's very good company.
And mate, we had a ball.
You said Adam Reynolds was there?
Adam Reynolds was there, yeah.
Did he hit him okay?
Yeah, he did look good. I watched him on the... here we go.
Hey, guys, this was in the Gold Coast Bulletin. A Gold Coast man was hospitalised after inserting 15 hard-boiled eggs into his chaminda ass after the Titans versus Sea Eagles game this past week at Robina. The bizarre incident led to severe abdominal pain, prompting emergency surgery to remove the eggs, which had caused tears in his intestines. Ugh. The man was rushed to the nearby Robina hospital wearing a Titan scarf. The report from the hospital stated the patient was found shouting, "Chloe, Chloe, call 000 and tell Sats I can't make the pre-record with Brandy on Monday." Despite the unusual nature of the situation, doctors were able to treat him successfully. The patient made a full recovery without any lasting complication and did manage to make his working commitments.
Smooth as eggs. I think he was a Dutchman, that guy.
So guys, is Brandy on the show tonight? What are you going to be discussing with Brandy?
Yeah, Brandy's on the show.
Yeah, the get-go's on. Get-go's on.
What are you going to
we want some New South Wales intel. We get nothing from you blokes down south. So, what
do you need to know? Or, you know what they should do? If Laurie, for entertainment purposes only, Laurie's got to start Spencer. Just start him. You blokes kick to him. It would be the greatest start to a game. It'd be great hype. Let's leak it to Dean Ritchie. We'll leak it to Dean.
After all this hype, just imagine, Fletch, that they did kick to him and folded him.
It would be awesome.
Imagine that.
Hands up who would like... Name me one true rugby league player who would not want to see that. Hands up, everyone. If you're in your car now, take your hands off the dash. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Take your feet off the dash.
Yeah.
Drive with one up. Wouldn't that be just...
Yeah.
Like,
it would be.
We need to put a bit of spice.
So what will happen? Will they kick to him?
They'll kick to Max.
No.
They've got to kick to
Spencer's not starting.
But you've got to make a statement. You have to now. Billy, you've got to.
He's not starting, sure.
No, I'm saying, but when that time comes, if that time comes, you've got to kick to him.
The game's already sort of gone into it after 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Laurie Daly, I'm pleading with you, start him.
Did you guys remember when you were playing, if there was a player back on the dead ball line, you'd actually say to the guy kicking off, don't kick it that way? Remember that Paliacina that
Oh,
played?
yeah. Fecker.
We used-
Yeah.
we used to- we used to always say, no, kick the other side.
Like a rhino.
Kick the other side. It's just so you could do it in a regular season game. You just can't do it in Origin.
You
can
can't, particularly when it's been built up. And look, he's a beast, but he's not a huge man. And like, if we can't get
There's no
Queensland
hit zone on
have a
him.
defensive line run down and handle it, we're kidding ourselves. We don't deserve to win.
Tino flying off,
Yes.
flying down there, it would be one of the great starts to an Origin and would get everyone in the mood and our ratings would skyrocket.
Hey, can you remember when Danny Badiris hit Webby underneath the goalpost about 2 metres out and just absolutely folded him?
Oh, well, I'm not sure he folded him. They sort of folded each other.
Yeah.
Hey, boys, what about this, right? Because I'm just forewarning this could happen because quite often the team who wraps it up after game 2, they're celebrating, not as motivated for game 3. They get pinched in game 3.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this.
Yep.
If New South Wales win game 2, let's just roll the shield out while they're fired up, get the photos. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. Once it's won, it's won. It doesn't matter whether they're
And
by
then
3
game
games or
3,
2.
have a special shield for the clean sweep. It's exactly the same trophy.
We're going more
but
shields.
it's a gold shield, right? So for the very rare clean sweep, you bring out the gold shield.
Simplify your life, Joel Kane.
No, make people
Now
get
we're-
around it. We're playing for the gold shield.
Now we're making new shields.
Well, how often has the gold shield won in history? It's very rare.
Yeah, 2000 we did it when we beat them 3-0.
Very rare.
Were you playing that? I think
And then
you
then you got 2 different photos. You've got the regular shield, you got that done, and now we've got the big golden shield as well.
Or you play.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I was going to say the golden shower, but that's not great. That's not great. That wouldn't be good. Speaking of which, I've been getting right into the Roman orgies about what they used to get up to.
Really?
Holy hell.
What went
That
on?
was light reading. Well, they used to eat so much they would vomit on each other, and it was it was a sign of
Spondula. Wealth.
prosperity.
Yeah.
And you would just sit there, and I'd have like 7 giant turkey legs, and then I would just go there, and I'd spew all over you. And then
Adam, so is that like a term of endearment? If they spew on you,
no,
it's
it was a sign that you were the Mickey.
But isn't the sumo wrestler the same kind of, like the big sumo? Don't they say that's a sign of wealth and prosperity as well?
The sumos, they're held in high regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, gold trophies are us. Good on you, boys.
See you later.
See you later. What, you're still here? Well, you can see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio, you beautiful humans.